What's going on, team? Hope you're feeling nice and fresh today. For our warm-up, we've got an 8-minute AMRAP, so as many rounds as possible. We're going to go through 6 different exercises here. So we're starting with a 30-second hollow body hold. Then we're going to go down to the floor for a 20 mountain climbers, back into a glute bridge for 30-second hold there. Then we've got 20 shoulder taps, a 30-second isometric squat hold, and then 20 jumping jacks. So how those are each going to look. Our 30-second hollow body hold, I'm going to be demoed here by Jacob and Taylor. What they're focusing on is driving that low back into the floor, activating that core, and he's pulling his belly button towards his spine. This is basically the hardest variation of that hold, so if we wanted to crinkle those legs in a little bit, we can even bring those hands down for our scaled variation. We're going to be there for 30 seconds. Once you're through that, they're going to be flipping over for those mountain climbers. We've just got 20 repetitions, 10 on each side. We're going to be hopping through those pretty quick here. Again, still squeezing and activating as if they're doing that hollow body. Once we're through those 20 repetitions, again 10 each side, we've got a 30-second glute bridge. It's going to be another isometric hold here. They're just firing the glutes and the hamstrings while maintaining that core activation, really focusing on the glutes and the hips. So they're just doing 30 seconds at the top. Once they're through there, we're going into those shoulder taps. So into that push-up position, abs tight, tapping those shoulders, 10 on each side. Once we're through those shoulder taps, we're going to be standing back up for an iso squat. So 30 seconds here, sitting in the bottom of that squat, trying to keep that chest up, keeping that nice upright position. While you're in that squat, you can keep those quads tight, keep those glutes tight, stay active, don't just relax at the bottom. After that 30 seconds, you're just going to finish with 20 jumping jacks. So what we're doing here, rolling through that for 8 minutes, as many times as you can get through it. Let's get it, guys. All right, team, 10 seconds. They're going to be starting on that 30-second hollow body hold. And 3, 2, let's get it. So basically, they're driving that low back into the floor, pulling that belly button towards their spine, staying nice and active with those abs. Try to keep those quads flexed, and if we can, point those toes. Very nice, Jacob. Some very nice looking holds here. We are 17, 18, 19, 20 seconds in. Got about 5 seconds, so we're going to be flipping over for those 20 mountain climbers. 3, 2, switch. 20 mountain climbers here. Abs tight, fast feet. Looking good, fellas. Just 20 repetitions. They're going to go straight into that glute bridge for 30 seconds. Very nice. If you're at home, just watch the clock. So as soon as you're done with those mountain climbers, you're onto that glute bridge. Do the math. Just got 30 seconds here. Looking good, gentlemen. Just really focusing on squeezing those glutes and hamstrings, driving those hips as high as we can, staying as active as possible. We want to push that whole foot with an emphasis on the heel. We don't want to lift our toes as we're in that bridge. Once we're through that, we're heading into those shoulder taps, keeping those abs tight, feet about shoulder width, not swinging the hips side to side, but bracing against that swing. There's just 10 on each side here, 20 total. They rip through those pretty quick. Now you're going to drop back down for a 30-second hold on the squat. So they're staying nice and active in this squat position. The chest stays up, the glutes are tight, the quads are tight, the hammies are tight. Looking good, fellas. Again, we're just watching our own clock here, so once you're through those taps, just take a look and do the math. Got 30 seconds in that squat, then they're going to pop on out of that squat for 20 jacks. Very nice. We're about 2.5 minutes in, so we should be able to get through this about 3 times. We'll come up a little short, no big deal. Looking good, fellas. Doing a great job staying active in this hollow body, driving that low back into the floor, pulling that belly button to the spine, keeping those shoulders off the floor. Taylor. Good. Heading into those mountain climbers. You're gonna feel the burn from the hollow body once you get into those mountain climbers. It's just 20 reps there. Fly through them and move on to that bridge. You get a little bit of relief. 30 seconds at the top of that bridge. Squeezing those glutes. Looking good, fellas. Again, we want to drive through that whole foot with a little emphasis on the heel, but still dig in with those toes. You don't want to lift the toes in the bridge. We don't want to arch our back. We want to try to maintain a fairly hollow body and then extend through the glutes. We do not want a big arch in the back. If you're feeling any tightness or pinch in the back, then you're definitely not doing it right. We want to move our emphasis into the glutes and the hams. On the shoulder taps, again, we're trying to maintain that same position, tapping away without rocking side to side. Squat looks good, Jacob. I'm impressed. Taylor's we knew was good. We don't know. Jacob's just come out of surgery. I haven't seen him move. His position looks better than before. I think they fixed him.
Hashtag who swallows better, Jacobs or Clayton? I don't know.
Don't throw me in there. It'll be awkward.
A very backhanded way of complimenting.
Oh, man. It's 20 jacks here. 5 minutes in. Got 3 more minutes left in the warm-up here. About enough time to get through one last time. Breathing through that hollow body, no big deal if you have to scale it with those bent legs. Just making sure we're keeping that low back pressed against the floor. Very nice, gentlemen. Last set of mountain climbers here. Fast feet. Back up on the bridge. Tight glutes. Driving through the floor here. The harder you squeeze, the more you'll get out of this exercise. It's one of those that the more you put in, the more you get out. It's not too hard to hold just at the top, but if we hold at the top and really activate and squeeze our hips as hard as we can, it's a very good exercise. Once we're through this bridge, then that last set of shoulder taps, again going back to that hollow body. Just 20 reps here. Last squat, holding at the bottom, 30 seconds. Nice position. Now, if you need to scale this, remember you got your wall squat as an option. Looking good, fellas. Almost there. Got about 45 seconds left in the warm-up. We'll get through these jacks, come back on the floor for a few seconds. We will be through. Looking good. Last 20 seconds here. Squeeze and hold. 10 seconds. 5, and 3, 2, Rest. Nice work, team. We are through the warm-up. Your abs are burning. Looking good. Stay tuned. We've got about a 3-minute rest, and we will start that Metcon. For the Metcon today, we've got 4-minute AMRAPs with a 1-minute rest in between. Each AMRAP is a little bit different than the previous one. So I'm going to start with all the bodyweight version of the AMRAPs, starting with Jacob here. So round 1, we're going to be supersetting a squat jack and a hip thrust. So for our squat jacks, Jacob, go ahead and demo those. He's just dropping into that squat, bringing those feet back together and tapping in the middle. For our hip thrust, it's kind of a half burpee with no jump. He's just thrusting down and standing right back up. Every AMRAP is going to be 2 reps of each movement, then 4 of each movement, then 6 of each movement, on up by 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and we're just working as far as we can in that 4 minutes. The second round for the body weight portion is going to be reverse lunges and V-ups. So he's going to start with those 2 reverse lunges, 1 each leg, and then 2 V-ups. Very nice. He'd be right back up. He'd go to 2 on each leg, or 4 total reverse lunges, and then 4 total V-ups. After that, he's going to rest another minute. Then we're going to get into round 3, where he's got push-ups and side lunges. So he'd start with 2 push-ups, and then he'd do 1 side lunge to each side, so 2 side lunges total. Then he'd be back down on the floor for 4 push-ups, and then back up for those 4 side lunges, 2 on each side. He's going to rest a minute after that, and then get into our round 4, which is going to be our hand to elbow plank, kind of a plank march here. Starting with 2, 1 on each side, and then our body weight squats starting with 2 repetitions. Good. After those squats, he'd be right back down on the floor and going right back into those hands to elbow plank or the plank march. After that, he's done. So 4 rounds, 4-minute AMRAPs. Every round you're working 2 reps of each movement, 4 of each movement, 6 of each movement, 8 of each movement, and on up. For our portion with our kit, we are just using our sandbag and our straps today. So, for round 1, he's going to be doing sandbag cleans and hip thrusts. So he's cleaning straight to the shoulder, dropping it right back down, and then doing his hip thrust on the bag. So he did 1 on each side for those 2 reps, and then he's got 2 hip thrusts. Once he'd be through there, he'd go to 2 on each side, and then 4 hip thrusts. That's for round 1, so 4 minutes, as many rounds, or he's going to work as high as he can. Then he's going to rest 1 minute. Round 2, we've got reverse lunges. He's going to hold up in the goblet position. He's got 1 on each leg. Very nice. And then 2 V-ups. So that was 2 lunges. Here's his 2 V-ups. Very nice. He'd be back up on his feet for 2 on each side of the lunges, and then he'd be back down on the floor for 4 V-ups. He'd roll through that for 4 minutes, see how far he can get, and then rest 1 minute. Round 3, we're going to do a push-up, an offset push-up over the sandbag. So he's walking to the side, just like that. He'd start with 2, 1 on each side, and then he'd be going to his ring rows for 2 reps as well. Very nice. The further he brings in those feet, the more challenging it's going to be. He's going to roll through that again for as many rounds as possible for that 4 minutes. Rest 1, and then we're finishing with a squat with the sandbag. So it'd be 2 reps there. And then a sandbag floor press. So he'd be on his back with that bag on his chest, and he's just pressing it straight up overhead. Or over his chest, sorry. Good. So it'd be, again, same rep scheme. 2 and 2, 4 and 4, 6 and 6, 8 and 8, all the way up. Once he's through round 4, he is done. So we've got that 4 4-minute rounds, 1 minute rest in between. It's going to take you about 20 minutes to get it done. You will be smoked, but you will have a good workout today. Let's get it, team. All right, team, get all your gear in place. We've got 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, that first AMRAP, we're getting after it here. So start with 2 reps of each, and going to 4. Looking good, gentlemen. So be smart about that pace in the beginning. These are all going to feel really easy as we get started. But once you get about a minute, 2 minutes in, it's going to really start adding up. Looking good, fellas. They're moving well today. They're pacing themselves accordingly, kind of finding that pace they can maintain for the 4 minutes. We're going to rest 1 minute after that and move on to our next superset. Very nice, boys. So they're going to find that, again, finding that pace they can maintain, which means they're going to work nonstop for this 4 minutes because they didn't come out too hot. They picked an appropriate pace right from the beginning. They can maintain for that 4 minutes. Every round, we're doubling those reps. Or sorry, adding 2 to the previous round, not double. I was like, that would have got added really quick.
Clayton said he can do that.
Yeah, Clayton can double them all, easy. Looking good, gentlemen. We are a minute 30 in. Very nice. Looking good, fellas. Coming up on that 2 minute mark, so now we kind of understand how we're feeling. We can pick up that pace a little bit if we want. If we feel like if we came out a little too hot, we can slow it down. Just monitor that pace. We're just in our first round of 4. Very nice. Taylor choosing to hold on to this bag during those cleans. Much quicker, smoother repetition. That's also going to extend the life of his sandbag. So if you're wanting that sandbag to last for years and years and years, something like that's always a good idea. But they're pretty tough. They're going to last a long time. So don't, if it feels like too much effort to kind of nurse it back down to the ground, just drop that thing. Looking good, fellas. .250 in, coming up on that 3 minute mark. There you go, Jacob. Dropping into that squat, pulling ourselves down, staying springy. Very nice. The cycle of that clean looks beautiful. Good, Jacob. 45 seconds left in the round. We're breaking for 1 minute. I'll go over those next 2 exercises for you in that downtime. Looking good, gentlemen. Last 25 seconds. Nice and in sync here. 15 seconds. Last 5 seconds. And rest. Very nice, gentlemen. So, next round, if you're just doing the body weight portion, we've just got classic reverse lunges and V-ups. We're starting over at 2 reps of each. If you are using our kit, it's pretty much the exact same, but we're going to be holding on to that sandbag for those reverse lunges, which will make it quite a bit more challenging. So if you're using the kit for most of the stuff, but maybe you need to scale those lunges, just do a body weight lunge. You don't necessarily need to use the bag. But if you want a little bit more challenge today, you're ready to push the pace, let's use that bag for those reverse lunges. The V-ups, obviously no bag, so that's going to look the same on the body weight side or the side with the kit. We've got about 20 seconds before that round 2 is going to kick off. Starting with those lunges, 1 on each side, and then going to 2 V-ups. Again, we will be building as we go. 10 seconds. 3, 2, let's get it, gentlemen. Round 2 kicking off. We got 2 reverse lunges, 1 each side, and then 2 V-ups. Both of these fellows have beautiful V-ups, so this will be no problem. If you have to scale those V-ups, our option is typically the leg lift. And if you need to, put those hands under your butt, drive that low back in the floor, and just lift the legs. That's usually the easiest way to scale that V-up. Looking good, gentlemen. Again, they started with a pace that they thought they can maintain for that 4 minutes, so we're just going to keep working consistently, getting as many reps as possible in that time frame. We are 50 seconds into round 2. Looking good, fellas. Very nice, Jacob. Make sure on these reverse lunges, team, we're keeping that heel on the ground, keeping that knee right above the ankle. We don't want to drive the knee forward as we step back. We don't want to pull the knee back as we step back. We want to keep the knee directly over the ankle, just as Jacob is doing here. It's a fantastic example. Taylor's also doing a great example of turning that toe in a little bit. So if you'll notice, his toe is actually pointed across his body at a small angle. His knee is externally rotated out, which gives him a ton of stability as he steps backwards. If his foot was facing out this way, your knee is going to be wobbling all over the place, and it's going to be really hard to stabilize. So again, what Taylor was doing is just pointing that knee across, driving that knee out, or sorry, the toe across, driving the knee out as he stepped back to maintain that stability. That's a big point we want to push on the lunges, is really trying to put that toe out in at a little angle, knee out to create that stability. Looking good, fellas. We are past that 2-minute mark. Just banging out some reps here. Trying to stay nice and smooth, because smooth is fast. There we go. Driving down with that big toe as we step back in the lunge to kind of grab the floor to help that stability. We are 2:45 in, coming up on that 3-minute mark. Looking good, boys. Good, staying nice and snappy on these V-ups. That core is getting some work in today. Just like every other day. "45 seconds left in the round. Kicking ass, fellas. Keep it up. Really starting to add up now at home. Keep it up. Push that pace. We're right here with you. Let's go. Last 20 seconds. Staying smooth, but finishing strong here. 10 seconds, we got another 1-minute break. 3, 2, and rest. 1 minute down. So for round number 3, if you're doing just the body weight portion, we're going to a classic push-up and a side lunge. So again, on those side lunges, our legs are close, stepping out nice and wide to alternating sides, and then just a classic push-up. If we need to stay on that push-up, going down on the knees or peeling ourselves up off the floor are 2 very good options. If we're using our kit, round 3, we're going to do that offset push-up over the bag, walking side to side with our ring rows. So we've got basically a row on our suspension trainer here, really emphasizing those scaps, drawing those shoulders back as we pull on the straps, getting a good squeeze at the top for those repetitions. We're going to be starting at 2 and 2, working up to 4 and 4, 6 and 6, 8 and 8. We got 10 seconds. 3, 2, let's get it, fellas. Let's see how far we can get here. Very nice. Working hard today, team. I like the way it looks. Very nice. We're about 40 seconds into round 3 here. There you go, Jacob. Bringing those feet in nice and tight. Stay as upright as you can on these side lunges. Taylor's doing a great job of squeezing that back, those rear deltoids and that scap as he pulls on the row. Good rhythm, not too fast, not herky-jerky, staying tight. There we go, Jacob, banging these push-ups out. Keep it up, team. Good. Once you're pushing that pace here at home, coming up on halfway through that 3rd round, which means we've only got 6 minutes left of work to do. Staying strong now. Nice work, fellas. Now that pump setting in. Looking good, team. Staying strong now. Don't be scared to dig deep and push on this one. You got it. Looking good. Minute 30 left in the round. Coming up on that home stretch. Way to work, team. I like the effort. Shake it out. The pump is real. Last minute of the round here. Let it burn. Hanging tough and digging deep now. 45 seconds. You're going to have to break these reps up. There's no problem with that. Looking good. Last 30 seconds of the round, and we got one more break and one more round. Very nice, staying hungry. Making those gains. Last 10 seconds here. Three, two, rest. Very nice, fellas. We got 1 minute down, coming up on that 4th round. If you're doing just the body weight, we've got that hand to elbow plank. So starting on the hands, walking down to the elbows and back up. Again, 1 on each side, 2 reps total there with body weight squats for 2 reps. If we're using our kit, we're going to be doing our floor press and our sandbag squat. So basically holding that sandbag in the goblet position. We're going to start on the ground with that floor press. Got about 30 seconds, team.
Remember, we need more hashtags Clayton Fit.
Yeah, don't forget hashtag Clayton Fit. Bring this guy back in the game. 10 seconds.
He'll be posting his score later.
Yeah. He did it this morning, so we're trying to beat his score.
Yeah.
He got 14s.
And let's get it. Last round. 4 minutes to go. Strong finish, boys.
Yeah, those are going to suck.
They're brutal. Very brutal. Oh, yeah. Hard part's going to be getting it on the chest every time. You'll probably squat right into your butt.
I thought about it.
Looking good, team. Staying motivated for this last round. It's our home stretch. We're pushing it to the end now. Very nice. Taylor choosing to hang on to that bag. Let's see how long we can do it. 1 minute in. Last 3 of the day. Hitting that total body today, team. Getting lean while making those gains.
The sandbags getting heavier. It's making the gains.
Funny how that works. There it is, Jacob. Remember to alternate those hands on the way up. Very nice. Dropping into that squat. Jacob glistening nicely today. That's what I like to see. Oh, 2 drips of sweat on the floor.
I made it to the top of the big.
That's hard work. Very nice. Ripping out these squats. Looking good, team. Last 90 seconds here. Staying strong, staying hungry. Gotta embrace the grind to the end now. Here we go, pushing it to the end. Keep it up, squad. Coming up on that last 60 seconds. Home stretch. Some beautiful squats today, boys. Oh yeah, rolling through it now. Coming up on that last 30 seconds. Strong finish. Here we go, hanging tough, 20 seconds. Repping it out now, last 10 seconds. Fantastic effort, gentlemen. Keep it up at home, let's go. 3, 2, nice work. Good work, fellas. Good work, team. Y'all killed it today. Make sure you click below to subscribe. That really helps us out as far as viewership. And let's get it.